For the next 3 months, we have an exchange student living with us.
I'm so excited about this. Everything here is new for me.
We cannot wait to show him life with the Johnsons.
Wife Carrie represents Finland. There is a wife here. However, this wife
We don't use that
is not going to be Carrie.
No.
So we're going to use dummies. Make sure you make our wives look pretty. We are looking for some bikes.
For bike shopping. Well, you came to the right place.
Okay, I'm stuck.
As long as the bike fits us and is comfortable, I think we could care less what they look like.
That was funny because everybody thought that I was going to crash. You did.
7 Little Johnstons star Anna Johnston is missing from season 17. But why? Let's take a closer look at why Amber and Trent Johnston's eldest daughter is missing in action on the TLC reality series. On Tuesday, March 17th, season 17 of 7LJ premiered. But Anna was glaringly absent despite the family celebrating Father's Day and her sister, Liz Johnston, going wedding dress shopping. In the first half of season 17, episode 1, a producer asked Amber and Trent, "So, can you give us an update on what's going on with Anna?" Amber explained, "All of our children have the opportunity and the freedom to participate in the show. And the ones that have chosen to participate are participating. And the ones that have not are not." TLC then displayed the following message: "Anna has chosen not to participate in the current season of 7 Little Johnstons." In the world of reality television, few things are as sacred or as revealing as the bachelorette party. It is the final send-off, the last roar of singlehood before the quiet hum of married life begins. For the cast of TLC's beloved hit 7 Little Johnstons, viewers have watched Elizabeth Liz Johnston grow up, fall in love with Brice Bolden, navigate the complexities of young adulthood, and eventually start a family. Now, just days before she officially walked down the aisle in November 2025, Liz found herself at the center of a moment that perfectly encapsulates the Johnstons' family dynamic: chaos, laughter, love, and a level of awkwardness that only a mother can provide. In an exclusive clip shared by TLC on April 12, 2026, Liz Johnston was arrested at her own bachelorette party, and the moment went viral almost instantly. However, viewers expecting a scandalous mugshot or a trip to the county jail can breathe a sigh of relief. This wasn't a run-in with the law, it was a run-in with the family's idea of a spicy surprise. The clip, which aired ahead of the April 14th episode, begins innocently enough. Liz is seated in what looks like a living room decorated for a low-key celebration. She is surrounded by the women in her life: her mother, Amber Johnston, her sister, Emma Johnston, and several close friends. The vibe is pajama party casual, a stark contrast to the wild, Vegas-style blowouts often depicted on reality TV. But this is the Johnston family, where the drama is rarely about screaming matches and almost always about the mortifying, hilarious reality of being related to Amber. The festivities kick off with the traditional bachelorette ritual, the exchange of risque gifts. At first, Liz seems to be handling the attention with her characteristic bluntness. Holding up a pair of edible underwear, a gift from her sister Emma, Liz looks more amused than embarrassed. She tosses them toward Emma, and the room erupts in laughter, though that laughter quickly turns to a mix of horror and giggles when Amber picks them up. Amber's reaction is pure, unadulterated reality TV gold. She holds the sugary garment, inspecting it with the clinical detachment of someone who has just found a science experiment gone wrong in the back of the fridge.
Oh.
"It's like sugary," Amber says, her face twisting into an expression of disgust that resonates with mothers everywhere. The moment is punctuated perfectly by Liz's friend Carol Beasley, who deadpants, "That's a trip to the gynecologist right there," sending the room into a fresh wave of cackles. In a confessional, Liz dismisses the gift entirely, revealing that she threw the edible underwear away because it broke coming out of the package. When Brice, sitting beside her, expresses a hint of disappointment that he missed seeing it, Liz shuts him down immediately, proving that even in wedding planning mode, she wears the pants in the relationship. But the edible underwear, as explicit as it was, turns out to be nothing more than the opening act. Just as the party is settling into a rhythm of gift opening and gossip, the energy shifts. There is a knock at the door. It is heavy, authoritative. Liz, who is holding up a thong that reads "Grazing Station" for the camera, freezes. Her face, previously flushed with laughter, drains of color before flushing a deep crimson of embarrassment. "Oh my God. Y'all did not," Liz gasps, attempting to hide her face behind a piece of tissue paper. She looks toward the door with the wide-eyed terror of a teenager who just heard her parents come home early. Amber, however, is grinning like the Cheshire Cat. In her confessional, she confirms the setup. "So Liz might think these panties are the surprise," Amber says coyly. "But we've actually got something even spicier coming." As the door swings open, a tall man dressed in a full police officer's uniform, complete with aviator sunglasses and a studious frown, steps inside. The room erupts. Someone jokes, "Did you pay your car ticket?" But no one is listening to the jokes. They are watching Liz, whose hand is now clamped over her mouth. The officer looks around the room, scanning the women until his eyes land on the bride-to-be. "How's it going?" he asks in a low, professional tone. "I'm here to arrest Elizabeth." For a split second, the inside of Liz's mind is visible on her face. As she later explained to the producers, her initial terror stemmed from a very specific fear, that the man in the uniform was actually Brice. "I just see a man in a cop uniform and, out of the corner of my eye, it almost looked like Brice," she recalled. "I just saw brown hair and a tall, lanky dude. And so I'm like, oh my God, he would never." The fear that her soon-to-be husband would show up to her female-only party in a stripper's cop costume is a specific, hilarious brand of panic that only someone who knows Brice's quiet demeanor could understand. Once the realization dawns that this is, in fact, a paid performer, a male stripper hired by her own mother, the dynamic shifts from panic to performance. The officer approaches Liz, explaining his reason for the bust. "I heard that Elizabeth stole Brice's heart," he announces. "Is this true?" He asks her to stand up, to put her hands behind her back. He produces a pair of fuzzy handcuffs, which Liz eyes with skepticism. "The cuffs don't seem like they're fitting," she notes dryly. But the stripper is undeterred. He grabs her wrists, and the arrest is officially underway. What follows is the predictable, yet always hilarious, spectacle of a police-themed striptease. The officer begins to grind to the music, throwing his cap onto Liz's head. The women in the room are screaming, a cacophony of hollers and cheers that drowns out the background music.